Now, just shifting the perspective, take yourself out of the conversation about whether he has to pay him money or whether there's going to be bad publicity tied to it, because both of those things are manageable. If you're Jay-Z and some guy's been chasing you around for 15, 16, 17 years or whatever, saying, I'm your son, and you've ducked the paternity test for this long, you watch an interview with the guy, he seems very credible. He really does come off very genuine. So you got to at least be like, there's a 50-50 chance that that's my son, low side. You're okay with like there potentially being a biological adult son of yours, and you're just like, I don't even want to know. It's not worth it to me to know. Like, I don't want to have to pay. I don't want to have to deal with any kind of like public fallout. Have the guy sign an NDA, do a DNA test, find out if it's your son, and if not, then fine. And if it is, like, you know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the age of his mom when you got her pregnant, but that could be managed with an NDA before the paternity test. So if it is positive, you know he's not going to be able to talk about it publicly. But you're cool with you having a biological son, your own blood, who's out there broke, struggling and scraping when you're a billionaire, and you're just like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. I don't want to have a relationship with him. I don't care if he's scraping and struggling. Your own kid. That's insane. All right, so I wanted to wait until we had like meaningful updates in the Jay-Z or Diddy trial or situation, whatever, to do another video. But yeah, I got my fill now. We got a bunch of videos or stories to go over. One of them, the lead story of this video is this situation with Jay-Z's alleged illegitimate son. And this story is absolutely wild, okay? This is real bad for Jay-Z. And when I say real bad, I mean real bad. And there's a reason why this is getting so much press now, because this guy has been coming after Jay-Z. He's 31 years old, okay? This dude over here is 31 years old. He's been coming after Jay-Z for, I think that, I don't even know, like 10, 15 years or something. I think the first thing I saw on YouTube was an interview this kid did 10 years ago talking about the exact same thing, okay? Now, why is this getting a bunch of press now, you ask? Excellent question. And it has to do with the age of his mom when she got pregnant, okay? So I'm sure you can imagine. You guys may recall, in a small story, hasn't been covered by very many people, there's a new lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy, 13-year-old who, after the VMAs, supposedly brought to a house, and Jay-Z and Diddy and an unnamed A-list celebrity female, which I figured out later, I think the implication was that it was J-Lo, sued them and said that they took turns graping her. She had a problem there, went on NBC, told some stupid, made one of the most insane decisions ever against the instructions of her attorney, and told her story on national television, which gave Jay-Z's team the ability to go fact check her, and they exposed like a million, only inconsistencies, just straight up like, that did not happen. That did not happen. That's impossible that happened. Even your dad is disputing that. So one of the stupidest things I've ever seen a plaintiff do. Now, before we get into it, I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate everybody having joined and subscribed to the channel. It's incredibly helpful to me, and it's very satisfying seeing the channel grow, and I appreciate all you guys doing that. And oh my God, I have the wrong set up. Well, if you guys were if you didn't know, my wife and I do a show called Play with Matches. The link is in the description, and this is what that looks like. And really, honestly, what right does the guy have to just force him to take a paternity test? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Or does he?
I actually don't know. I don't think he does.
I have no idea.
I don't think you can just walk up to a random person and be like, "Hey, my mom said you were my dad. Give me your DNA." Like, I don't think you can do that.
Hey, did you sleep with my mom? And Jay-Z's like, how the hell would I know? Yeah. Jay-Z.
Well, let's find that out.
Google that while I pull up Jay-Z.
My phone is so far away.
Honestly, the main difference between that show and this one is that this one really is about like conveying information about stories. That one, we just talk. We talk about the topic, but we're more just like relaxed, just rapping out. It's more of like a chill podcast situation. It's much funnier in my opinion. People like it better, dude. It's way newer, but people like it better. Now, take a look at the sponsor of this video, Ground News. And you want to know why they're in this one? Is because in so many of these articles about Jay-Z and this paternity thing, they didn't even mention the age of the mom when she got pregnant. And that can only be because he's being protected by the media, and Ground News exists so you get the real stories every time. Now, by now, it should be obvious why I continue to work with Ground News. Their mission to make media more transparent and their use of data to give readers a full perspective on breaking news aligns with my principles, and it also aligns aligns with how I research my videos. Their visual breakdowns show political bias, they show reliability, ownership, and it makes it incredibly easy to compare headlines for each story and access information much quicker. Let's take a look at the exploding Cybertruck story as an example. You can see right here how many outlets covered it. You can see over here the bias distribution, whether it's left, center, or right. This is pretty evenly distributed. And we can go down here and compare headlines, as well as the lean left, lean right data points, and decide which ones we want to read. Now, I will continue to say that the blind spot feed is the best part of Ground News. I want to show you a few stories that you may not have heard of because they are blind spots. This is my favorite feature on Ground News because these stories slip through the cracks. And if you just go to Ground News blind spot page, you can find so many interesting stories that no one is seeing. Check these out. The blind spot feed is like a litmus test for left or right to see, are you an objective person? Because if you're an objective person and you're on the right and you find out that no one is covering a story, then, you should want to read that. If you don't, then you're not objective. Now, while I'm scrolling these, you go over to ground.news/Jesse or scan the QR code to subscribe. Ground News is giving my viewers 40% off the unlimited access Vantage plan, the plan I use to research all of my videos. It's only $5 per month, and in a world where news moves fast and the truth is hard to find, it's important to be using Ground News to get a full perspective. Plus, by subscribing, you're directly supporting my work. All right, let's rock and roll. Oh, oops. That's for my next video. Oh, wow. Another lawsuit for Diddy. Just a blip on the radar. Just another 16-year-old girl claiming that she was drugged and raped by Diddy because that's like, it's honestly like if they were doing a new headline every time they're all, Jesse on fire had breakfast this morning. It's like, man, it seems like he likes to have breakfast every day. It's like, I do recently like to have breakfast. Also, Diddy sexually assaulted a 16-year-old. You're all, yeah, I mean, that's about as notable as Jesse's breakfast. So thanks for that update. All right. So let's listen to this kid. This is from 9 years ago. Okay. Now, if I haven't said it yet, the main thing here is that Jay-Z has refused to take this paternity test for years and years and years. And the reason is because the mom was 16 when she was impregnated, or 16 when she had him, potentially 15 when she got impregnated, either 15 or 16 years old. Either way is America, dude. If you're in your mid-20s and you get a 16-year-old pregnant, you are predator, okay? So let's watch this real quick, and then we'll discuss what's actually being covered in the press like now, because this has picked up major steam lately.
I don't know. I wouldn't know how he's feeling. Like I would hope he would think about it and this would be in his mind, but I wouldn't actually know what another person is feeling at this time. You just can think that this person knows and thinking about it and stuff like that.
By the way, I really like this guy. I really do. And that's not me trying to like shit on Jay-Z. I watched this interview and another one of his and I actually really like this dude. I think he comes off really genuine.
That I really want to know. So my mom did tell me she went in there and filed a fraternity test. And it just, basically, I can say it was a whole lot of running around with that case. It was a whole lot of things that wasn't, what can I say? We didn't have enough information to push the case. That's what I basically can say. We didn't have enough information to keep the case going. So it was a big case to me because, I really wanted to find out who my father was.
That was weird. Two things. A, that's exactly what Gabrielle said in the clip that I put in. And also, let me go back 1 second here because I just need to say something about that chain. What is that? What is that chain? I'm going to like this video just because that chain is so bananas.
Who my father was, and for the case not to go how I was planning it, I really thought it was going to go different than what it was, but I really feel like it should have been over with because, I feel like if it was anybody else, I'm not saying this because people got higher standards or people make more money than that, but it's just different because, if it was anybody else that made a low income, I feel like they would have had them in there way faster than people that's wealthy. I really try not to get frustrated, basically. I really try not to think about it, I go on with my life because, anything could happen, but, I still gotta live for myself at the end of the day. I still gotta work and bring in income for me. I can't sit around. I gotta get up off my feet and do something. I can't wait on the world. Like I can't say, I can't wait on anybody to want to respond when they want to. It is important that.
Let me say something real quick. So there's something about going back and forth between that guy's face and then Jay-Z's where, you're like, this guy is saying that Jay-Z's his dad, right? Like he's saying he's his biological father. And initially when Gabrielle and I discussed this in the clip that we showed earlier, and it's like, oh, what would you do if you were Jay-Z? That was all about strategy related to a legal and financial situation, right? Trying to minimize Jay-Z's exposure financially and with bad publicity is how we kind of thought about it. But now that I'm actually watching this and it's going back and forth between their faces, I am actually kind of blown away as a father of 3 kids that if a person was coming after me for this long, right? Like this guy's been going after Jay-Z for 10, 15 years or something, saying like, this is my father. I would need to know. As a father, I would need to know. I'd be like, dude, if that's my son, I need to know that. Like that's my son if it really is. Why would you not want him in your life? It's your son, dude. Like that's your own kid. So, it's nice that it might have some bad publicity if it turned out to be your son. That's obviously very manageable, okay? Now, I don't mean it's manageable like you could publicly go, hey, guys, I did, in fact, get a 16-year-old pregnant. Not that, okay? That's not manageable, if they knew. But what you could do, obviously, is you could go and get a non-disclosure agreement in advance, and you could agree to do the paternity test, get legally protected, agree to terms of what it means financially if, in fact, it is your son. And that way, you are covered in terms of bad publicity. That's over now. And you already know what your financial exposure is because he agrees to it in advance. Couple $1 million, whatever it is. Like, dude, you're a billionaire. You're fine, dude. And if that is your son, don't you want to take care of him? You haven't been in his life for 31 years. Don't you want to take care of him? Honestly, this is fucked up now more than I think about it. If someone tried, some rando, hey, that's my dad, I'd be like, oh, shut up, man. If they were still on it for this long and I saw that guy's interview, I'd be like, this guy doesn't seem like a scammer. Might really be my kid. Like, you just, like, that. I don't know, man. I have no idea. I don't even know what to do with that. I wouldn't be able to think about anything else. I mean, I'm being serious. Like, if that was my son, maybe, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd have to know. I would have to know. And if it was my kid, I would bring him into my life. And, do the bare minimum, like make sure my own biological son is not like scraping and not able to make his bill payments. I mean, it doesn't seem like too much to ask. You abandoned him for 31 fucking years. So now this is 7 days ago. So you're talking almost a decade between these 2 interviews, okay? This guy seemed pretty credible to me, so let's watch.
Really, that she's your father?
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, just can't take nobody not saying nothing. Like, it's not fair.
You know what else, too? Think about this, dude. If, in fact, that is Jay-Z's son, his mom's not alive anymore. His mom's dead, okay? So that kid, okay, this dude right here giving the interview, his mom died while still trying to prove that Jay-Z is her kid's dad. So imagine being a 31-year-old man and you watch the courts dick your mom around for however many years because she just died. And you're like, so in your mind, like your mom was 16 when this happened. I don't think it would be hard to find the motivation to keep coming after him. Like he could say it's just, he just wants to know. He probably has an incredible amount of admiration and respect for Jay-Z. And he's just like, given he's a rapper also, I hear. I should probably look up his music and put it on. But I don't know. Like, he probably looks at Jay-Z partially as like, dude, you got my mom knocked up when she was 16. Like, he's 31. He looks at 16, 15-year-olds, and he's like, you did that to my mom when you were a grown-up? And, like, now you won't even take a paternity test? So maybe he doesn't have respect for him. I don't know. But let's see what else he had to say.
I was 7. My mom had to sit down with me. I guess she thought I was old enough to know now, and she been saying Sean Carter, that's what she was calling him at first before she was calling him Jay-Z, and I really didn't know who that was because I was young and, you know, had my little brother, and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but I really, this was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, it's not your father, and I really want you to know it is. This person is your father, and I just want you to know. And she continued to tell me that over the years and over the years and over the years, even till I was grown. He never tried to contact me in any type of way, and that's all I'm asking is like, cause I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like I've been going through, just like I said, a lot, and as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth, and if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really? Why you? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with. I work every day. I also have my own kids to take care of. So it's like, it's been a journey for me, and it's just like, you know, I just got so much on my name right now. I never ask for money. I don't do interviews just saying, hey, Jay-Z, give me your money, or I'm coming at the Jay-Z for his money. I never did that. I'm not that type of person. I work for everything. Next is I'm just trying to basically make sure no other kids or nobody else in the world has to go through this. Basically, don't feel afraid to go to court and see if a person is your biological parents. You know, so many people are scared, and this is a big thing in the world. A lot of people don't have their fathers because they scared to go out and search for them. And sometimes it only take a little search, you know, go search. And if it's wrong, we're adults. Well, most of us adults, even for the teenagers, this being a role model for them, showing you can go in the courtroom, and if you're doing everything correctly, you should be able to just get treated as equal as the other person. You know, I've always been a person that I never hate anyone. I never, you know, I don't walk around with hate for a person. So I try to teach my kids that just be the best that you can be. So that's just a motto I go off. I would never hate Jay-Z. You know, it was never that type thing. You know, I respect him for everything he did. And as I said, I've been going through a whole lot through these years because this case, like me and my mom, my godmom, we didn't seen the worst. We didn't have people, you know, slander my name like you want Jay-Z money, and I hear it all. I'm going to fight until I'm not here no more, and it's never going to be against no one. Like, you know, I'm going to continue.
Dude, look at the shirt he chose to wear to this interview. You know, I like looking at stuff like that, dude. You know, like this guy, he's a rapper, right? Like he's a musician. He's going on to a big show, and he chose that shirt. Like this guy's he's not trying to like come off like a gangster. He's not trying to he's just like, look, I just really want to know. I believe him. Now, I will say one thing, though. So in this article, now he always says he doesn't want any money from him, and I'm not saying I don't believe him. I mean, I don't really, you know, I kind of like, what do you want then? You know, I mean, obviously I would want to know too if it was my father. But here's one quote where I'm like, all right, are you sure? He said, my late mother, Wanda, was just 16 years old when she became pregnant with me, and for years I have sought clarity about my identity. This is not about greed or spectacle. It's about uncovering the truth and ensuring all parties are held accountable. So what does that mean exactly? You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Held accountable how? Financially, legally, what are we talking about? And so when, you know, listen to this. So this is Jay-Z's quote issued via Rock Nation. Jay-Z mourned yet another loss of innocence and expressed only heartbreak for his family and 3 young children who would have to face repercussions of the heinous allegations leveled against him. However, even more than that, he particularly took aim at Tony Busby, he called him a fraud, yada, yada. But like, I mean, I don't really understand what the point of that is in this video, in this article. It's like, I don't know, loss of innocence, consensual sex with a 16-year-old. I mean, maybe. It just honestly, it depends on the 16. I mean, it's never okay, but I just mean like, he's talking about like children when he made that statement. I don't know if it necessarily directly impacts. I don't know. Bottom line is, I like this kid, dude. I really do. So hopefully he gets to find out the truth. I just really like what he said when he's like, look, man, honestly, if I'm wrong, I could take being embarrassed. The fact that you even say like, I'll be embarrassed if I'm wrong. I respect that, dude. I do. Anyway, that's what I got for this video. Go ahead and look for the next ones because we got a big Diddy story coming too. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Love you guys. Bye-bye.